One form of riba is to lend money on interest. And Allah has prohibited money being lent on interest. Why has He done so? Would you ever hear a khutbah for Salatul Jummah? Will anyone ever deliver a khutbah for Salatul Jummah in which you would explain to the people why has Allah prohibited money being lent on interest? No, they have many other things to talk about in Salatul Jummah, but not riba. The reason why He has prohibited money being lent on interest is because this is not business. أحل الله البيع وحرم الربا. The business transaction is one in which you can make a profit or you can suffer a loss. And once you embrace risk, R-I-S-K, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can intervene and give to some and take from others. And so wealth can circulate through the economy, not through the intervention of government, but through divine intervention. When governments intervene in the socialist system, it leads to corruption. That was the Soviet Union. That was Hugo Chavez's economy in Venezuela. Wherever you had a socialist economy, of state-controlled economy, you ended up with corruption and destruction of free enterprise. And so, business and money lending on interest are not the same. In a business transaction, you can make a profit or you can suffer a loss. But in a riba transaction, you only want to ensure you get your pound of flesh. The world can go to hell if it wants. I must get my pound of flesh. What was the name of that sheikh who explained riba this way? The pound of flesh? What was his name? That's right. Great, one of the great sheikhs, huh? And what is the book? The Merchant of Venice. They can't ban it. They can't ban it. So we can still teach it. The pound of flesh, he said. There's a second reason why riba is prohibited. That when an economy is based on riba, wealth will no longer circulate through the economy. Wealth will circulate only around the wealthy. The relationship between the rich and the rest of the world is one-way traffic, not two ways. It's like a vacuum cleaner that you use to clean the carpet with a suction pump in it, and it sucks the wealth of mankind until one part of the world becomes filthy rich and the rest of the world is ripped off of its wealth. That's why Allah has prohibited riba. But I have something to say to them which would surprise them, the rich of the world who have grown rich through riba. Allah says, you know, it's good to study the Quran. It helps you to understand the world. الَّذِينَ يَأْكُلُونَ الرِّبَا. Those who grow rich from riba. لا يقومون إلا كما يقوم الذي يتخبطه الشيطان من المس. They will live a life that will be strange. A strange way of life of these people. Eventually, they will behave the way those would behave who are driven to madness by the touch of shaitan. That's what Allah says in the Quran. And you can see in the United States, the fellow goes into a school and kills 15, 20 people. They go into a stadium and they start shooting here and there and everywhere. They go in a supermarket, they start killing people. They go in a cafeteria, they start killing people. They're going crazy out there. الذين يأكلون الربا لا يقومون إلا كما يقوم الذي يتخبطه الشيطان من المس. So you pay a price for your riba. Now they're moving away from paper money. They've already got all that they wanted to get from paper money while we were eating biryani and going to sleep. That's Islamic scholarship. You'll forgive my sarcasm. They got all they wanted. So why are they changing? They've used money as a weapon to take control of the world. So why are they changing? what is the reason for the change from a monetary system of paper money, which has profited them so much, to a new monetary system of electronic money, which is outside of government control and outside of banking control? That is the important question that we must now attempt to answer. I think it is Islamic eschatology more than anything else which can explain that answer. Nothing else. Monetary economics, no. But Islamic eschatology. Is it in Surah Al-Mursalat that Allah says, "Intaliku ila zillin zi salasi shu'ab"? Proceed, meaning in the historical process, to a shadow which is going to come over the world, a shadow which is going to come over the political system, over the economic system, over the monetary system, over the educational system, over the spiritual life, over the male-female relationship, over sports, over education. A shadow which is going to descend over the world. Intaliku ila zillin. And this shadow will emerge in three parts. The shadow will have three parts. Zi salasi shu'ab. This is ayah mutashabiha, not ayah muhkama. The Quran has ayat muhkamat, which are plain and clear. And this is Ummul Kitab. And they have to be studied. And what constitutes a Muslim, the belief system of Islam, must come from here. The ayat muhkamat. So if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if He has ordained the leadership of the Ummah of Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam is vested in Ahlul Bayt, and they are of course my brothers, the Shia. I don't have boxing gloves, no, they are my brothers. If Allah has ordained that the leadership of the Ummah after Nabi Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam is vested in the family of the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, and it commenced with Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu, who is included in Ahlul Bayt, then this must be in the Quran. Because if it comes from Allah, it's a part of our belief system. Yeah. If you reject it as I do, you're not a Muslim. If you reject this as I do, you are not a Muslim. You're kafir. No one can possibly challenge me on that. No, you can't challenge me on that. If Allah has ordained something and you reject it knowingly, you're kafir. And I reject it knowingly, so I'm a kafir. If Allah has ordained it. If it is a part of the belief system of Islam, it has to be in the Quran. If it's not there in the Quran, then be careful.